Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Today, I'm going to teach you how to strengthen and then release your low back. So this is core strengthening, your choice of done lying down or seated in a chair. So a little setup first. If you are reclining on your bed, on a couch, on the floor, be sure that your upper body is slightly elevated so that you don't make GERD worse. So you might be on a pillow or a couple of blankets under your shoulders. If your bed is already raised at the head, that works perfectly. If you're seated in a chair, get another chair and put it in front of you, because now you have a level surface that's the new floor. This is now your floor. You don't have to get up and down, but you're able to put your legs out in front of you, up reasonably close to the height you're sitting. So now that we've got our setup, I want you to relax. So sit back in your chair with your legs up on the chair in front of you, or lay back, reclining on your floor or your chair, your couch, your bed, and relax. Now, lots of people say, oh, relax, like you can just relax. Except that, yeah, we all have lives, and there's stuff going on in those lives. And a lot of times that stuff is not relaxing. And so instead of trying to think yourself into a relaxed state, which works fine if you're relaxed, but doesn't work real well if your life is, being a life. And so I'm going to teach you how to relax using your breath to change the way your body is working, which will make you feel relaxed, because our minds and our bodies are really connected all the time. And we know this when something drastic happens and our minds react and our bodies go with it. Heart rate goes up, respiration rate increases. Well, it goes the other way too. If you can slow down your heart and slow down your respiration rate, your mind will think you're calm. So let's start with an exhale. Exhale completely. That just means just keep exhaling till you're done, and then just relax. Your body will inhale. You don't have to think about it. You don't have to try. There's none of that take a deep breath stuff. Just exhale and relax. Now, as you exhale completely, it takes a little longer than a normal walking around breath. And as you inhale, for most of us, it'll take about the same amount of time as it did to exhale. And this is slower than your walking around breath. And so as you spend a moment or two exhaling and then letting your inhale take care of itself, what's happening is you're breathing a little slower. Your heart rate is going a little slower. And your mind will think you're calm and relaxed. Now we're going to move into a core strengthener, a strengthener for your low back. And core is really important. It's what keeps us up and moving around. Even more important is our core is what we balance with. Our feet are what we balance on. And so this is what keeps us up and around, moving well, being able to do all our day-to-day stuff, and reduces fall risk. Now, this first one is a pelvic tilt. So if you're in your chair, see if you can kind of get your low back against the back of the chair. If you're laying down, I want you to press your low back flat against the surface beneath you. And then arch your back. So now your tailbone and maybe your rib cage are kind of still in touch with that surface, but everything else is moving away. And now press your low back down, and you're going to feel everything in your core engaging to make that move. And this is a really small move, and it's a really effective move because it is pointed exactly at what we're trying to strengthen. So now I want you to arch and press flat, and you could coordinate that with your breath, because when you're pressing flat, you're exhaling. And then when you're arching, it's like everything's opening up and you're inhaling. The great thing about a really small move like this is you can pretty much do it anytime. Now we're going to take it a step further, and we're going to take that pelvic tilt around the clock. So I want you to visualize an analog clock with the hands that go around in the big circle. And I want you to, the 12 is at the top up by your rib cage, and the 6 is down by your pelvis. And I want you to start by rocking that pelvic tilt from 12 to 6. Now, 1 to 7. 2 to 8. And you may suddenly find one of these isn't working. That happened to me too. It takes a while. And now 3 and 9. So now it's almost a side to side tilt. And 4 and 10. 5 and 11. 6 and 12. We're kind of back where we started, except we're just halfway around. And now keep going around that circle. So I've made it around to straight across again between 3 and 9. And keep going. And when you get back to 12 and 6, relax. Exhale completely. Let the inhale take care of itself. Now we're going to do one more core strengthener. And this is probably the most popular one that I teach. And the reason for it is you can do it laying in your bed before you get up in the morning, and it works. And I know there's a zillion core strengtheners out there. There's crunches. There's all kinds of things. You only really need one. You just needed to do it. And this one is a push. So you need to have your low back flat against the surface, whether it's your chair, couch, bed, floor. And so this is, again, kind of into that pelvic tilt. And bend both knees. So if you're in a chair, your feet are on the chair in front of you. If you're on a reclining surface, just bend both knees. Keep your low back flat on the surface through this whole series. That's going to be the hardest part. Now, as you exhale, bring your right knee up, Press your right hand on your right knee to a count of 8. Keep that low back flat. Don't forget to breathe. Whenever I say don't forget to breathe, it's because I forgot to breathe. Now release, and as your foot goes down, keep your low back flat. Now repeat that twice more on the right. So you're still on that first side. Bring your knee up, press, keeping your back flat to a count of 8. And release, keeping your back flat. And last time on the right, bring that knee up and push. Release and keep your back flat as you put your foot down. Now we're going to do that same thing on the left side. So back flat, knee up, push with your left hand. Release, keeping your back flat as your leg goes down. And now repeat. Left leg up, press. And release. Last one on the left side. Bring that knee up, push. And release. Now pause for a minute. Just kind of let things move around a little bit. Now we're going to do one on each side for the side oblique. So we're kind of moving around the side of your core. So I want you to low back flat, right knee up, but now you're going to push on your right knee with your left hand to a count of 8. And release. Bring your leg back down, keeping your back flat. Now we're going to change sides. So now you're going to bring your left knee up and push on it with your right arm. Back flat to a count of 8. And release. So now we've done the core strengtheners. And so now you've quite successfully tightened up all the muscles in your core and your low back. So now it's time to release them. We're going to begin with the knee to chest pose. So you could be reclining back in your chair, reclining further on the floor or your bed, and bend both knees, soles of your feet on the surface. Bring your right knee up. Then either you could take a hold with your hands, pull your knee towards you, or use a strap behind your knee. Bring it all the way up as far as you can, wherever that is, because wherever it is, you're going to feel a stretch in your low back. Now release. Let that right leg down. Both feet stable, knees bent. Now bring your left knee up. Same move. And release, bringing that knee back down to the floor. Now we're going to do both knees at the same time. And you can bring them up one at a time or together. Bring both knees up. You could have your hands on your knees, behind your thighs. You could use a strap around behind your knees. And now I want you to make little circles with your two knees together. So you're just kind of circling around, and it's going to feel like a massage on your low back. And now change direction and circle the other way. Now bring your feet back down. And now we're going to do a very gentle twist. And all you're going to do is let your knees drift to the right. Don't try and keep your knees and ankles together. They just kind of drift off to the right to wherever they end up. And bring your knees back up to center. And now let your knees drift left. Again, you're not trying to keep your knees and ankles together. It's just a gentle release. And bring your knees back up. Now we're going to do the ultimate low back release, and that is constructive rest. So in constructive rest, you're relaxing back, your knees are bent, soles of feet on the chair or the floor. Your knees are touching each other and your feet are just enough wider than your hips that your knees kind of lean against each other. So you're not using any of the muscles in your thighs, your core, or your low back to keep your knees in place. And this is constructive rest. It releases everything in your core, in your low back. And now we're going to do one more thing to release and relax all the muscles you've been working with, and that's Brahmari, the bee breath. It's also called the humming breath. And the reason this works is because it's right down there and you stimulate your vagus nerve. And when you stimulate your vagus nerve, it induces the rest and digest relaxation response. And so as you breathe, you're going to inhale, and as you exhale, hum. Draw your attention back through the five senses. Begin with hearing and smell, taste, sight, and finally touch. Move a little, perhaps a stretch. And remember that you can take yourself back to this state of a relaxed core, a relaxed back, a relaxed breath. in just a few moments. And thank you for joining us.